pray for the last person to get coronavirus. And yet, so many people have decided to play Russian roulette is, I must say, that the sympathy factor starts to fade into insignificance when you think of the number of people that have died and could die from a result of stupid reaction. Well, I just heard a lorry going by the studio window, and undoubtedly, and this morning it's the day that they pick up the recycle goods. So let's say good morning in Lewis to those people who look after our bins and our garbage and so on, because actually they are very efficient. They are one of the most efficient in the country. If only, I mean, it's silly to say, if only the council could be run like the garbage collection people, we'd be quids in. Oh, dear, Keith. We are having some fun this morning, aren't we? Right, okay. Let us... yes. One of my favourite groups to emerge out of the music that is available to us is a group called the 126ers, and they are pretty versatile. So let's play something that's called Simpler Times and cast our mind back to when we thought we were complex, and now we find they really were gorgeous, simple times. Simpler Times, the 126ers. And for those of you who are still in bed, and I suspect that is the majority of you, it is time to get up and enjoy the day. It is going to be hot, hot, hot again. At the moment, it's a sort of a thin layer of cloud, but the sun is peeking through. It is going to be a wonderful day. So get out there and enjoy the wonderful, wonderful day. I got a treat for you on Mirador Television, a sister television station, along with this Rouser Radio, and a lovely lady in Armenia, Star Jackson, and her sister have produced another musical extravaganza. She sent it to me so that we can play it on Mirador Television, and indeed we shall. I received it last night. I'll download it today, review it, and put it up. But Star Jackson and her sister Eva are just a fantastic combination of a singer and songwriter. A sister combination. And boy, do they set Armenia alight. If you've never been to Armenia, it's worth going to. It's not a holiday destination in the true sense of the word, but it's fascinating. And it was always because they embraced Christianity in about 600 AD as a state religion. It's always been the front line against the Muslim hordes, if you like, long before anybody thought of crusades and King Richard the Lionheart and so on. The Armenians built their churches and their cathedrals into the rock so that they could get into them and defend their both religion and their property from any attacking horde, of which there were plenty. And Yerevan, the capital, is a lovely little place, sitting out in the evening having a drink. I've worked there, on about 4 or 5 occasions now. Wish I could go back tomorrow. But then who knows, the way that this radio station is going and the television station is growth, slow growth, but it is growth, could mean that we could start to do things from various places like that, and what fun that would be. A sort of historic travel program for those who have never been to some of these esoteric places. And one of the great, great things about Yerevan is it is home to the Ararat brandy factory, and a visit there is very worthwhile. Dip your fingers, I was going to say toes, into a barrel of brandy. One of the things they do is, for their very famous customers, of which they have a number, is that they keep the barrels marked. So, for instance, Churchill had a barrel. He bought his brandy there, and there was a barrel marked Churchill, and the brandy that Churchill bought only ever came out of his particular barrel, and it's still there. I don't know whether his family are allowed to buy it. I suppose they are. But Stalin, down through Khrushchev, even, I suppose, President Putin must have a barrel there. It is a fascinating factory and the way that it's run. The other thing about Yerevan is wherever you look, you'll see the snow-capped mountain, Mount Ararat, quite magnificent, with Noah's Ark stuck halfway down. The only thing is that you can't walk across to it, because the border dispute, which goes back almost 100 years now, means that you cannot get into Turkey from Armenia. They're at one another's throats all the time. You wouldn't think it, because when you drive along, most wonderful array of vegetables which were yesterday in the ground or on the trees being sold today on the stall on both sides of the border. The farmers get on with it, while the politicians and the military have one another's throats over long ago evils. There we are. Memories are long. Most people are like an elephant. Never forget. 24, 37, 38 seconds into this program, so I think I'm going to play one more thing. It's been getting you out of bed a little bit of time. So, Unicorn Heads, Asleep with the Sun. Yes, you see what a nice, considerate man I am. Getting you out of bed gently in the morning. Getting you ready to greet the day. You know, in farming communities, of course, there'll be a cockerel somewhere going, cock-a-doodle-doo. And I spent over 2 years, living in Kosovo and enjoyed the experience immensely. One of the interesting places to go was the open market, where my wife visited me on one occasion, and she went down to buy some eggs, and she thought she was buying a dozen. It turned out she was buying a gross, all at the same price, for about €2. But there was a cockerel there that kept on going, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo. And somebody was going to come and buy him and cut his head off and eat him. And I kept on saying, shut up, you're signing your own death warrant. I was almost ready to smuggle him out of there. It is difficult to look at live animals for sale. I suppose if you're a farmer, you understand the life cycle. An urbanite just sees them as animals with not to be tampered with, not to be played around with. Sorry, 29 minutes and 22 seconds into our thing, so we're going to say goodbye, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow morning. For the moment, it's Keith Hayes, Rouser Radio in Lewes, East Sussex. The time coming up to 7 o'clock on the 12th of August 2020. Have a good day, he said. Yes, well, I'd like to say goodbye. Here we go. Ben Sound Buddy.